Good evening, my weary academics, and welcome to History to Sleep By, where we nerd out and conk out. If you enjoy calm, narrated history documentaries, or just need a reliable friend to help with restless nights, please subscribe, leave a like, and maybe share a comment about what's happening in your life. That way, you'll always find your way back to us. Now, let's begin tonight's journey. In the late 18th century, the seas around Europe were alive with the movements of ships engaged in the great struggle of the American Revolutionary War. Amidst this backdrop, the Franco-American alliance sought to extend its influence across the Atlantic. John Paul Jones, a name now etched into the annals of naval history, commanded a squadron with a daring mission to disrupt British shipping in the North Sea. His flagship, the Bonhomme Richard, was accompanied by the Alliance, Pallas, Vengeance, and the cutter Surf. Their task was to hunt down British convoys, vital lifelines of commerce and military supplies. On the night of September 23, 1779, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Jones's squadron approached a British convoy off Flamborough Head. This convoy was under the protection of HMS Serapis, a formidable ship commanded by Captain Richard Pearson and the smaller Countess of Scarborough. The Serapis, a new and powerful 44-gun frigate, was a stark contrast to the aging Bonhomme Richard. Jones's flagship, although heavily armed with 42 guns, was in poor condition, its hull weakened and its lower battery unreliable. As dusk settled, the two forces drew near, the tension palpable in the cool night air. The initial contact was a delicate dance of maneuvers, each captain seeking the advantage. As the first shots were exchanged, the air filled with the thunderous roar of cannon fire. The Serapis, with its superior firepower, quickly inflicted serious damage on the Bonhomme Richard. The American ship's hull was shattered, and its lower battery was rendered nearly useless. Faced with the prospect of defeat, Jones made the bold decision to close the distance and grapple with the Serapis. The two ships locked together in a deadly embrace, their crews engaged in fierce close-quarters combat. Muskets cracked from the rigging, and grenades exploded on the decks, adding to the chaos. Amidst this turmoil, the French frigate Alliance, commanded by Pierre Landais, mistakenly fired upon the Bonhomme Richard, further complicating the battle. The night wore on, the ships ablaze with the light of fires spreading across their decks. Despite the damage, Jones's crew fought on with grim determination. The Serapis, too, suffered from the relentless assault, its decks littered with the wounded and dying. In the midst of this inferno, Jones reportedly declared his resolve to fight on, a testament to his unyielding spirit. Gradually, the tide of battle turned. The relentless pressure from Jones's men and the spreading fires aboard the Serapis forced Captain Pearson to surrender. With the battle won, the crews transferred amidst the flickering flames and smoke. Yet the victory came at a high cost. The Bonhomme Richard, mortally wounded, could not be saved. On September 25, 1779, she slipped beneath the waves, her timbers creaking as she descended into the depths. The battle off Flamborough Head resulted in significant casualties on both sides. For the British, the loss of the Serapis was a blow, while the Americans mourned the sinking of their flagship. Captain Pearson faced a court-martial for the loss of his ship, though he was ultimately acquitted, his conduct deemed honorable under the circumstances. The impact of this engagement rippled across the Atlantic. In Britain, the loss was a sobering reminder of the war's reach. In France, it bolstered support for the American cause, while in America, it elevated John Paul Jones to the status of a hero. This battle, fought in the chill of a North Sea night, became a symbol of determination and resilience, a story of struggle and triumph that echoes through history. As you drift into sleep, let the waves of time carry you gently onward, the echoes of cannon fire fading into the distance, leaving only the soft whisper of the sea. The sea, ever vast and mysterious, has long been a stage for human endeavor. In the years that followed the battle between the Bonhomme Richard and the Serapis, the Atlantic remained a conduit for tales of courage and ambition. The ocean's expanse connected continents, its tides carrying the hopes of nations and the dreams of individuals. As the American Revolution progressed, the waters were alive with ships of all kinds, from majestic frigates to humble merchant vessels. Each ship bore its own story, its own purpose. navigating the capricious moods of the sea. Among these vessels, privateers played a significant role, their sails unfurling with the promise of adventure and profit. Authorized by letters of marque, these privately owned ships engaged in warfare, challenging the might of the British fleet. Their captains, often bold and audacious, were driven by both patriotism and the lure of treasure. They disrupted trade routes, capturing enemy ships and their valuable cargoes. The privateers' successes were celebrated in American ports, where their daring exploits were recounted in taverns and around hearths. The sea was not only a theater of war, but also a corridor of commerce and communication. Despite the conflict, merchants continued to ply their trade, their ships laden with goods that sustained economies and livelihoods. These voyages were fraught with danger, the threat of enemy capture ever present. Yet, the promise of profit and the necessity of supply drove them onward. The ocean's vastness was both a barrier and a bridge, its waves a constant reminder of the interconnectedness of distant lands. In the midst of this maritime theater, the naval strategies of the warring nations evolved. The British, with their formidable navy, sought to maintain control of the seas, enforcing blockades and protecting their interests. The Americans, resourceful and determined, employed a mix of naval engagements and privateering to challenge British dominance. The French, allies of the American cause, added their naval strength to the struggle, their ships a welcome sight on the horizon. As the war drew on, the Atlantic became a backdrop for alliances and enmities, its waters a testament to the shifting tides of fortune. The sea, ever impartial, bore witness to the bravery and folly of those who sailed upon it. Its depths held secrets, its surface a canvas for the unfolding drama of human conflict. In the quiet moments between battles, when the sea was calm and the wind gentle, sailors found solace in the rhythm of the waves. The ocean's vastness offered a sense of freedom, its horizon a reminder of possibilities beyond the immediate struggle. In the stillness of night, beneath a canopy of stars, thoughts turned to home and the promise of peace. The war, with its trials and triumphs, eventually reached its conclusion. The Treaty of Paris, signed in 1783, marked the end of hostilities, its terms negotiated across the very waters that had seen so much conflict. The Atlantic, once a battleground, became a pathway for reconciliation and renewal. Ships that had carried cannon and powder now bore diplomats and dignitaries, their holds filled with the promise of a new beginning. In the years that followed, the sea continued to shape the destinies of nations. Its waves, timeless and unyielding, carried the stories of those who ventured upon them. The echoes of past battles faded, replaced by the hum of commerce and the quiet determination of those who sought to build a better world. As you drift into the embrace of sleep, let the gentle rocking of the sea cradle your dreams. The ocean, with its endless horizons and whispered secrets, is a reminder of the journeys yet to come. The night is calm, the stars bright, and the promise of a new dawn awaits. In the quiet aftermath of conflict, the world began to heal. The ocean, a vast expanse of possibility, became a bridge between lands once divided by strife. The ships that crossed its waters now carried not only goods, but also the hopes and dreams of those who sought a brighter future. Along the bustling docks, merchants and sailors exchanged stories and laughter, their voices mingling with the cries of seagulls and the gentle lapping of waves against wooden hulls. In the towns and cities that lined the coasts, life slowly returned to a peaceful rhythm. Markets thrived with the vibrant colors of exotic spices and textiles, their scents mingling in the air, a testament to the newfound connections between distant shores. Children played in the streets, their laughter a joyful chorus that echoed through the narrow alleys. The world seemed to exhale, releasing the tension of years past and embracing the tranquility of the present. As the days turned into months, and the months into years, the ocean's role as a conduit for change only grew. Explorers set sail, driven by curiosity and the promise of discovery. They charted new territories, their maps expanding the known world and bringing distant lands closer together. With each voyage, the world felt a little smaller, its people a little more connected. In the quiet corners of libraries and study rooms, scholars pored over these maps and the accounts of those who had ventured into the unknown. Their minds sparked with ideas, their imaginations fueled by the tales of far-off places and the wonders they held. Knowledge spread like a gentle tide, washing over the minds of those eager to learn, to understand, and to explore. The sea, with its endless horizons, became a symbol of possibility. It whispered to those who listened, calling them to adventure, to seek out the mysteries that lay beyond the known world. For some, it was a call to explore new lands. For others, it was an invitation to delve into the depths of human understanding, to uncover the truths that lay hidden beneath the surface of the everyday. In this time of renewal, the arts flourished. Painters captured the beauty of the world in vibrant strokes of color, their canvases alive with the energy of a world in motion. Writers penned stories that transported readers to distant lands, their words weaving tapestries of adventure and romance. Musicians composed melodies that echoed the rhythms of the sea, their notes a soothing balm for souls weary from the trials of the past. Communities grew stronger, bound by shared experiences and the common goal of building a better future. People from different backgrounds and cultures came together, their differences celebrated rather than feared. The world was a tapestry of vibrant threads, each unique yet woven together to create a picture of unity and hope. As the sun set each evening, casting a golden glow over the waters, it was a reminder of the beauty that could be found in the simplest of moments. The gentle sway of the sea, the soft rustle of leaves in the breeze, the distant call of a bird on the wing. All these things spoke of peace, of the quiet joy that came from living in harmony with the world and with one another. The ocean, with its vastness and its mystery, continued to be a source of inspiration and wonder. It was a reminder of the journeys that had been taken, the challenges overcome, and the dreams yet to be realized. As the stars appeared one by one in the night sky, they seemed to wink down at the world below, as if to say that anything was possible, that the future was as boundless as the sea itself. In this time of calm and reflection, the world found its footing once more. The lessons of the past were not forgotten, but rather woven into the fabric of a new era. The sea, ever present and eternal, watched over it all, a silent guardian of the stories that unfolded upon its shores. As you drift into the gentle embrace of sleep, let the soothing rhythm of the waves carry you to a place of peace and dreams. The night is calm, the stars are bright, and the promise of a new dawn awaits. Beneath the vast expanse of the starlit sky, the world lay in a gentle slumber. The sea whispered its ancient lullaby, a melody of time and tide. Waves lapped softly against the shore, their rhythm as steady as the heartbeat of the earth itself. In this quietude, history seemed to breathe, its stories woven into the very air, waiting to be discovered by those who listened closely. In a small coastal village, nestled between the rolling hills and the endless sea, life moved at a pace dictated by nature's gentle hand. The villagers, bound by the rhythms of the land and water, carried with them the wisdom of generations. Their days were filled with the simple tasks that sustained them, yet each action was imbued with a sense of purpose and connection to the past. Fishermen rose with the dawn, their boats bobbing gently in the harbor, ready to greet the morning tide. They knew the sea's moods, its capricious nature, and respected its power. Their fathers and grandfathers had taught them the secrets of the deep, the places where fish gathered, the signs of an approaching storm. As they cast their nets, they became part of an unbroken chain, linking them to those who had come before. In the fields beyond the village, farmers tended to their crops, their hands working the soil with care and reverence. The earth, rich and fertile, yielded its bounty in response to their toil. They understood the dance of the seasons, the delicate balance between sun and rain. Each seed planted was a promise of tomorrow, a testament to the enduring cycle of life. The village itself was a tapestry of stories, its cobblestone streets echoing with the footsteps of those who had walked them long ago. The old stone church, its spire reaching toward the heavens, stood as a sentinel over the community. Within its walls, the voices of the past seemed to linger, carried on the notes of hymns sung by generations of worshipers. The church bells, ringing out across the fields and sea, marked the passage of time, a reminder of the constancy amidst change. As the night deepened, the village settled into a peaceful stillness. Windows glowed softly with the warm light of hearth fires, casting flickering shadows that danced across the walls. Families gathered, sharing stories and laughter, their voices a gentle murmur against the backdrop of the sea's song. Children, eyes heavy with sleep, listened to tales of old, their imaginations painting vivid pictures of knights and dragons, of far-off lands and brave adventures. In this place, where the past and present intertwined so seamlessly, the future felt like a gentle promise. The lessons learned, the traditions upheld, all served as a foundation upon which new dreams could be built. The villagers, with their deep-rooted connection to the land and sea, understood that they were but custodians of this legacy, charged with preserving it for those yet to come. The stars, now a glittering tapestry overhead, watched over the sleeping village. They had seen empires rise and fall, witnessed the triumphs and tragedies of countless lives. Yet here, in this quiet corner of the world, they shone with a serene constancy, a reminder of the beauty and mystery that lay beyond the reach of human understanding. As the night wore on, a gentle breeze carried the scent of salt and earth, mingling with the fragrance of wildflowers that grew along the cliffs. It was a reminder of the interconnectedness of all things, the delicate threads that bound the world together. In this moment, beneath the watchful gaze of the stars, the village seemed to breathe in unison with the universe, a part of something far greater than itself. And so, as you drift into the realm of dreams, let the peace of this place envelop you. Imagine the gentle sway of the sea, the soft rustle of leaves in the night breeze. Feel the warmth of the hearth, the comfort of a story well told. In this world of quiet wonder, where the past and future meet, find solace and inspiration. The night is calm, the stars are bright, and the promise of a new dawn awaits just beyond the horizon. The village rested quietly under the blanket of night, each cottage a small sanctuary of warmth and light. The gentle hum of life continued even as the world around it slumbered. A soft glow flickered from the windows, casting shadows that danced upon the cobblestone paths. Inside, families gathered around their hearths, the crackling fire a companion to whispered tales and shared laughter. The air was filled with the scent of burning wood, mingling with the aroma of herbs hung to dry above the flames. Outside, the moon cast its silver light over the landscape, illuminating the fields that stretched beyond the village. These fields, tended with care and devotion, bore witness to the cycles of growth and harvest, each season leaving its mark upon the earth. The soil, rich and dark, held the stories of generations, of hands that toiled and dreams that took root. In the quiet of the night, the land seemed to breathe, a living testament to the resilience and perseverance of those who called it home. The villagers, bound by a shared history, found comfort in the rhythms of their daily lives. Each day began with the rising sun, a signal to awaken and greet the world anew. The morning light spilled over the hills, casting a golden hue that promised hope and renewal. The village came alive with the sounds of activity, the clatter of hooves on stone, the chatter of voices, and the distant call of the shepherd guiding his flock. As the day unfolded, the villagers went about their tasks, each contributing to the tapestry of life. The blacksmith, with his forge aglow, shaped metal with skill and precision, crafting tools that would serve the community. The baker, rising before dawn, filled the air with the scent of fresh bread, a daily offering that nourished both body and spirit. In the fields, farmers worked in harmony with the land, their hands guiding the plow as they sowed the seeds of tomorrow. The village, though small, was a world unto itself, a place where time seemed to move at its own pace. Here, traditions were cherished, passed down through the generations like precious heirlooms. Festivals marked the passage of the seasons, each celebration a reminder of the bonds that held the community together. Music and dance filled the air, a joyful expression of life and the enduring spirit of the people. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the village once again embraced the night, the cycle of day and night, a comforting constant. The stars emerged, their light a gentle reminder of the vastness of the universe and the mysteries that lay beyond. In this moment of stillness, the village seemed to pause, a collective breath held in anticipation of the new day to come. The night was a time for reflection, a moment to ponder the wonders of the world and the place each person held within it. The stories told by the fireside were more than mere tales. They were the threads that wove the fabric of the community, connecting past to present and guiding future generations. As the embers glowed softly, the words spoken carried the weight of wisdom and the promise of dreams yet to be realized. In the quiet of the night, the village was a sanctuary, a place where the heart could find rest and the soul could find peace. The gentle murmur of the sea, the rustle of leaves, and the whisper of the wind all sang a lullaby that cradled the village in its embrace. Here, in this world of quiet wonder, the past and future met, a dance of time that held the promise of new beginnings. The night wore on, the stars tracing their path across the sky, a celestial journey that mirrored the lives below. The village, nestled in its valley, seemed to float in a sea of tranquility, a beacon of light and life in the vastness of the night. As you drift deeper into the realm of dreams, let the peace of this place envelop you, a gentle reminder of the beauty and simplicity of a world in harmony. In the stillness, the village awaited the dawn, the promise of a new day just beyond the horizon. The cycle of life continued, each moment a precious gift, each day a new chapter in the story of the village. And so, as the stars began to fade and the first light of morning touched the sky, the village stirred once more, ready to greet the world and the adventures that lay ahead.